Okay, everyone. We are, or I am, back from Barrett Jackson in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I know a lot of people had some questions or comments and all that. Um, and I'm going to try and explain some of it so everyone realizes what took place. And I think most people did. But anyway, we were honored to be there. It was a once in a lifetime experience for me. It was incredible how they do this, and as enormous as this whole uh, whatever you see the pictures of, it's twice as big as that. So anyway, uh, in saying that, the car, my former car, the '69 Mustang, uh, was owned previously for the last 12 years by uh, yeah. Let me start over here with that. It was owned by Bob Lindstrad. I was going to say something else, but anyway, by Bob Lindstrad, and he owned the '69 Mustang. He also has, I think, about 16 cars total. He's actually from uh, Seattle or Kent, Washington, you want to call it, and he has, like I said, a number of those cars, and he also had my former car, and he had a 1970 uh, Torino GT 429 Super Cobra Jet there also. So beautiful car. It was lot number 1280. My former car was lot number 1299. And so therefore, they were pretty close together. Sometimes there's not an exact number rotation from the lot, from one lot number to another lot number. Uh, but anyway, before I get into that part of it, uh, the show was Barrett Jackson was done on uh, History Channel and FYI, and also BarrettJackson.com, which I think did it live without. I don't believe they had any ads on BarrettJackson.com. Uh, but I think most of the my car, former car, went through on FYI. So, uh, in saying that, um, let me first of all show you the promotions they did for my former car alone. This is the Bear Jackson experience. Spend some money, $12, I think it is, and plus shipping, and get one. It's well worth it. It's got a ton of information in it. You'll love reading all about it and all the different cars in there. But for my former car, I have to say they bent over backwards to make it this presentation. And it's going to mess up my green screen a little bit here. But let me get it around here where you can see it. Uh, you will see the Mustang. And it gave a whole page of information, some pictures. So that was one thing they did. Um, Another thing they did, they had all this printed up, and they got Barrett Jackson, and then the back of it has other shows they're doing, Scottsdale, and what else is it? Palm Beach, Las Vegas. Go to Las Vegas and gamble. Uh, then they had all of these. Somehow hold it up here. It's hard to do this because I'm holding it backwards. But anyway, that's another feature they did. And the car was with Barrett Jackson from the Houston show, and it had been with them up until I guess it's still there. It's waiting for shipment. Um, but the cool part of this whole thing is, and I'll go into the the other part of it in a moment. But the cool part about this is the people that bought the car that won the bid live about 30 miles from us, and from Frederick. They live in Carroll County. So the car hasn't gone very far at all. And of course, the car was um, kept in Kent, Washington, actually at a museum up there. I don't know really what the name of the museum was, but anyway, uh, that's the story of that part of it. But the other cool factor here is it did go through FYI. They had me drive it up on stage, and which was an experience in itself uh, because it's so loud. And I know it was a distraction to the auctioneers, but that's what they told me to do. That's what they wanted me to do. So I drove it up on there, got out the car, and as soon as I get out the car, there is a swarm of people everywhere around me, and I couldn't even really tell what was even going on, and uh, because one of the auctioneers was talking to me, what do you think it ought to get, and back and forth. And so anyway, the people that bought it were standing right beside me. I didn't even realize it. So anyway, it brought 130,000, and as we all say, it should have been a lot more. but but anyway, um, we all say that. So it's never enough. But it brought 130. But the interesting factor is that there was a black Camaro, Copo Camaro, that had John Force on the car. I don't know. I spoke to the guy. I didn't ask him if John Force had invested money in this car or what. But anyway, Copo Camaro, it goes across the block. I think it went just a little bit before me, and it only brought $130,000 too. Well, he come back. We were parked side by side, and he come back and he purchased the car. He bought the car back. So, and that's done by being able to pay the seller's fee and the buyer's fee at 130,000. So, I don't know what that figured up to be, but it's a lot of money. And then there was another gas monkey car that was a Copo Camaro that was his car also that went for 57,000, and he purchased that car back. So everything is not always as you think you see it. So, but anyway, I have not been able to see it again because we recorded it on the wrong channel at the time. So, whatever, it is what it is. Also, Bob's other car, the 70 Ford Grand Torino 429 Super Cobra Jet, brought $250,000. And that was the highest bid ever placed on that car, that type of car. So, quite an interesting factor there. But who knows what? You can never really guess on these things as to what's going to take place. But anyway, he come out all right. I really appreciate all he's done for the last 12 years. He literally gave me a blank check to have that car restored down at R&M Performance, and that's the story with that. What the other people would do with the car, I have no idea, and it was so mass confusion up there whenever we were doing that. And I just gave him one of my cards. I said, "Here, look, give me a call when you get time." So that was about the end of that. And anyway, it was a great experience. If you could ever get out there, you need to be there. It's a hell of a experience. You just will. You can't get through the place entirely. It's just enormous amount of cars and people, um, and just a great week of entertainment, if nothing else. So you will thoroughly enjoy it. They had airplanes for sale there, new airplanes. If you want to buy a plane or a helicopter, you buy a helicopter too. So anyway, uh, it was a great time. The only other thing I can say is please don't fly American Airlines. Uh, that was the only miserable part of the trip was flying with these people. So they had changed my flight around and put me into Baltimore BWI at 10:30 at night. And thank God a friend of mine, Tim Sergei, uh, happily, well, he wasn't happy about it, but he came up and picked me up anyway. So it worked out great. So anyway, I assume if it's on FYI and you have it recorded, it's there. I don't know. Maybe it's on BarrettJackson.com also. So anyway, you can see a little bit of what's left of me in the background here, and that's just a little bit of me. That's I got hanging in the living room, which I was honored to have be able to do that because not the happiest thing to have in your living room. So anyway, I want to thank everyone and thank everyone for their interest. I had a lot of questions and the whole 9 yards. So we're going to end it right now, and you can Facebook me, or if you got some other questions, give me a yell, and I'll try and answer them for you. Thank you very much for paying attention, and we'll see you next trip. I'll have some, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, I'll have a couple more shows lined up on there. Also, I'm going to be on one of Ford's performance podcasts sometime in February here. So we'll be looking at that. I'll be advertising that also. So anyway, thank everyone, and we'll see you next go round.